What is going on, people? Welcome back. Johnny here, and we are playing some RimWorld. This is Rimhammer with the Dwarfs, and I will, in fact, turn all the instruments back up. It's already done, actually. I just have to roll them out to Steam. As you can see, we're going to have some pure mayhem in this episode, and it's not a pretty situation, but we'll get to that later on as a part of the discussion on what to do next. So, in the meantime, yeah, we pick up where we left off last time. Gotrik and the boys carrying some beer around the tunnel around the side. We're making the training room. We have a tunnel funneling people into where our war machines will be. We have giant brutal cats roaming around inside and outside of the hold. There are critters about that we can butcher for deliciousness and to save us the trouble of actually having to go out and deal with any kind of hunting. I do prefer that when I can, so we're gonna see if we can't mine south at some point and find some more space. But in the meantime, we have a totally jammed full weapons room, armory I guess we'll call it. Despy's on a catatonic breakdown. The instruments are sitting pretty. We're going to make an instrument room before this episode ends as well, somewhere where they can go and chill and just play some tunes as they will. So yeah, crops are looking good, things are progressing. We do have all these potions, the love potion and melee potions, and we're just going to use them up. We're going to get anybody with mediocre medical or melee skills improved, because we can do that. So, assuming they won't pick up a gun. We're also going to use the love potion. I haven't had anybody couple up in this game yet, so why not? We're going to have Gotrik couple up and with Kaza. And Kaza's going to be the one to spawn the relationship. So there you go. Finally a couple. That leaves us an extra unopened bed right in the middle there, which is nice for the next greedy pawn. We need to shift in there because those Thrumbo rugs have a high level of beauty. So there you go. We're doing some smoothing and beautification outside. I just don't want to miss any spots. I'd like being able to shift walls out of the way to get that done. There's a trader that arrives at that point from the Ogres, which, as you know, the Ogres are always slavers. They do have 2 Ogres in their party that they're offering up here. So finally we get an ogre. We buy a bunch of magic stuff as we can afford. Somehow we end up with some food, probably. Who knows? Either way, we got Torig and the ogre fella. We need to make an ascetic bedroom here. We don't want to put an ascetic Torig into a nice bedroom. I'm not even making lights in the bedroom when we do the construction, but hopefully they'll turn out poor quality. It's worse rest, but it's also not as pretty of a room. Dwarven furniture is very nice. Working on double wall and the access to the cold rooms. The heat is just too much. The ogres are bailing. The heat in general is not too much, but at times it gets too hot. So Chest Stride is in bed. I made some fancy ogre beds that work really well. In the dwarven beds, it's weird. You see we get a bunch of man-hunting mega sloths, but we're just going to ignore those fellas. We close up the doors, consider ourselves safe, restrict everybody to inside. In the hold safe. Doom, doom, doom. People and animals. So, research, we want to start making some Empire rugs. We'll get into weaving. The Empire mod is coming along. All the furniture is almost fully redone. If you're on the Discord, you will have seen that. Torig required a mechanical arm. He had some health issues, but we got him sorted out. And we're going to make a big wall where we can stack war machines behind and blast the snot out of anyone that should come and attempt to attack us. Also, it gives us the option to hide behind that wall and shoot at any mad animals with absolutely no risk to ourselves. So we're also going to push out the exterior wall to give us more range for the war machines. We're going to build some flame cannons first, being that they're the most awesomely effective things. So We also need to expand the cleaning zone to keep that area nice and tidy. You can see we have some nice outside area claimed. We've trained a lot of the animals to haul, which is very useful. And even though it's pretty dark and foggy and rainy, some goats join at that point, but we're not going to have any goats, so we're going to slaughter those guys. We already have yaks, minotaur, a couple other things, horses galore. They breed like mad. And Mournfangs as well. Gold count is currently not increased. It's at 3561, and that's where it's going to sit for a little while. The only way I've really been able to generate good amounts of gold is using that spell. You get 250 every time it succeeds. So it seems worthwhile to crank that spell up to the top level, because your chance of turning someone to gold is significantly better as the spell level improves. So there's that. It doesn't cast too frequently, but every handful of days is sufficient based on the way the raids come in. Running short on black powder since we're making a bunch of war machine rounds. We're going to do some empire research. We still need to get clothing and armor for the humans we've accepted into our midst here, and current wealth is 341,500 roughly, which is pretty legit. Cadorson was attacked by a Mournfang and managed to take it down. It could have been a hunting expedition or a wounded animal that he went out there to take down. Regardless, it's not much of a threat. You can see things are really looking cool. I really like how this one's turning out. I did recently release this mod to Steam. Speaking of Steam power, with some updates. We'll talk about those in a little while as well, though. We're going to make an ogre research table, and the training rooms are finished, ready to get some training dummies in there for shooting and martial arts work. There is an ogre research bench. You can see those are my graphics works, not Dino. It would look a lot better if Dino had done it. We ran out of cotton at this point because we're making so many rugs. Whatever, we got one shooting dummy to shoot at, but everybody seems to love it, so I love that mod. It also increases their abilities in those regards. Now, I'm not going to complain, and we'll flesh those rooms out when we get the cotton. We're going to have to make another room to put the Empire Loom. We're going to put all carpet making operations in the secondary room. We'll call it the weaving room. And then we'll also have the tailor room, which will stay as it is. So we do eventually grow some cotton and get these guys sorted out. We have shooting targets, martial arts targets for melee. You can see the range on these things. There you go. So I set it up so that they can stand over there and plug away at them as they will. So, next up. And some mad animals. Or actually some hunting has to be undertaken here. We finish researching steam power at that point. Go right for advanced steam power. Whenever it's worth, we can at least level out temperatures across the Dwarven hold if we're willing to sacrifice some materials. So we have some resources out there we need to nab. And there's a mad muffalo we need to be wary of. Just one at this point. Unless the others happen to snap on us while we're assaulting this one. And anyways, at least it will not rot right away. It's mad for random reasons. So anyways, we take care of that problem between chest stride, rock break. We're in business. And we also have some goodies to bring in from some deconstructed ancient technology that was found over here. Moving right along then, the room is mostly done for rug making. So I'm going to put pelts in there, and the Empire Loom will go in there as well. You can see our feasting hall is coming along. The more people we get, the bigger we'll make that. And the dummies are being used, so training is happening. We're going to make a little music concert room as well. I left space for a hallway in between. We'll put some nice, soft, fluffy chairs in there, and that should be pretty awesome. A Jabba's Life wanders in at that point. And you know, we're taking all these guys down and butchering them. You can see we've made some additional war machines as well in the form of another flame cannon and an organ gun. Somebody will eat that Jabba's Life tongue, and it's going to be Cadorson looking to get some magic powers. Sadly, no bonus has been received from consuming the Jabba's Life tongue. I was debating on making it a mod setting on the the chance of actually acquiring something from that, because I've had it work a few times, but it's been a long time. You can see the range on those war machines is pretty significant. We're gonna bump our walls out and make a much larger kill box, quote unquote. We're gonna need to leave some roof up lest we have overhead mountain falling, but not a big deal. We're also gonna clear plants from that area. So the mining is finished in the music hall. We also made a fancy dwarven ceiling light in there, and the instruments get moved in and tables get shifted around in the feasting hall. Should be pretty legit. The mining proceeds at a pretty rapid rate, and a nice psychic suit lands for the males of the colony. Find a queen bee. Anytime I find a random queen bee, I just go ahead and build a chaos means running away. Sorry. Go ahead and just build another beekeeping hive, because why not? I do have a mad dragon-y thing at that point, and I'm not sure how tough it is, so we decide not to confront it with our weaponry straight away, our melee weaponry. We do have some magic. We're going to fire at it. And Jagged Rock's on the case. Doesn't seem to do too much. You can see the Mournfang are busy hauling chunks around, which is very useful of him. I really like those guys, and they're doing some awesome work. So time to charge in. We have really good melee weaponry, and it doesn't take much. The Zizi, not even sure how to pronounce that thing. It clearly looks like some kind of Chinese dragon. All right, we're going to put some floofy chairs in there in our music room so that concerts can be performed by our music lovers. We also have a mad wolf at that point. And I don't know if we're going to get the magic off before Jagged Rock gets a chunk taken out of him, but fortunately it doesn't go for Jagged Rock, so there you go. And now it's mad. It was actually hunting Kaza, and here comes another one that did go manhunter on us. And it's just, we're never going to get that shot off. Time to charge in again. Jagged Rock does get bit by it, but it's minor. We have the capacity to get people healed up pretty well here. Be nice to have some more magic ability to do that, but you know how that goes. So chairs going in with, I think I'm trying to focus on doing those out of Muffalo. It'd be nice if they were all consistent. Yeah, we're gonna hunt some more Muffalo and see if we can't get some more hide from those beasts. Sharpie is resting. Sharpie, our Minotaur, is resting. We're doing some hunting on the Muffalo, and they do, of course, go mad. A 10% chance is pretty much a 100% chance in RimWorld, I've found. So I just send some support out there. I don't overly like manually having to deal with every bit of hunting that happens, but there it is. Anyways, needless to say, the other two become manhunters as well, because 10% is 100% in RimWorld, and we decide to run inside. We do have some embrasures we can hide behind. Sadly, Caxi drops his Muffalo he was carrying right in the doorway, which is a problem. Let's see if we can get him to haul that out of there before they get inside, but with his cooldown from his weapon, it doesn't end up happening. But we do have Torrig with a flame cannon nearby. Flame gun, I should say. And fortunately, the Muffalo decides to charge Caxi, so you have time to bring that one down. And the one outside of the embrasure got taken down as well. So that's a done deal. Some additional Muffalo hide. Jagged Rock has some minor injuries here, which led to infection, of course, but anyway, Dwarfs visit us at that point, and they have some stuff they want to trade. At least they don't get mauled by predators upon showing up here this time around. So there's always that. They at least buy Dwarven Ale. They have some really good stuff, some magic items, and we're going to give them a bonus $1. If we take another love potion, some lights, and try to buy anything that would otherwise require gold. We're going to make a different spot to put the bodies so it's not blocking our war machines as well. Could make a carcass cave and flame them in there. We do research Empire cooking. We're getting a lot of milk, and we can make cheese from that with Empire cooking. So I'm going to get on top of that as well. Seems like a worthwhile endeavor to use up the milk and make some awesomely delicious food. So with the other love potion, we're going to have Tasca, who is a human female, form a relationship with Chestride, the ogre male. And I'm not going to make too many filthy comments about that, but they are there for sure. So anyways, they form a relationship due to the love potion, and they hop in bed straight away. Regardless, the cleaning is happening, the mining is happening, making fantastic progress. I'm really liking how this is going. We do find some sapphires in the mountains, so that's great too. Nothing like some more wealth. There's the dwarven horn being blown. Try to give every race their own unique musical instrument. And it's at that point that we get a massive infestation. You can see it. Here's the downside to holding doors open inside. You can see that this goes all through our hallways, and anywhere we had a door held open away from the hallways, it also has spread into those rooms, which unfortunately is the feasting hall, which whatever, it'll distract them for a while because they tend to like to bust up tables and stuff. But anyway, we have Torig here, and the flame gun should be very useful. Now, needless to say, you saw the intro to this, and this doesn't go very well. So we'll watch it and see how my massive failure goes down here. I think at this point what I should have done was held open every exterior door that I could to the hold, even possibly fled outside. We have so many people and they're all completely surrounded in every direction with Skaven. I was trying to box them in, but we really couldn't get behind them as much or as fast as I would have liked to, so we just sort of all grouped up, moved to where it seemed sensible to fight. Snake also has a Drake gun, which does shoot fire, which is very effective against these types of situations, but is also very dangerous in this type of situation. So here they come. You can hear them popping off like crazy. It's almost not even worthwhile to use the magic. Blackstone and Cadorson immediately get pinned in. I had them in the wrong order there. They're swarmed. Better armor certainly would have kept us on our feet. You can hear the flame guns going off. And here's our wealth for you. Yep. And fortunately, the flame guns don't seem to strike friendlies. Torig, sadly, doesn't get much capacity to use his flame gun. I'm trying to force it. So despite him getting assaulted in melee, it seems like it works. And it does cause a massive distraction on those rats. You can see it briefly catches anything, even non-flammable stone walls, on fire. So Cadorson is the first to go down, and the ogre is fighting for his life. Stone Shield and Kaza firing away. There's just a massive line of rats trying to get at our people over there. So we have to break through somewhere, but the rats can apparently, when they catch on fire, just run right by us. You can see they've taken down a handful of people now. Tasca, Torig, Rockbreak, Blackstone, Cadorson, and Jagged Rock are all down and out. And there's a lot of Skaven up at the north side there fighting. We have fires. Torig is burning. Fortunately, Gotrik, who has the magical helmet, he does pretty well for a good long while. Down in the bottom left, there's flaming rats running around. We have to take those guys out before they spread fire further. You can see temperature is already at about 170 Fahrenheit. That's 78-ish Celsius. So, yeah, the flame guns. A curse and a blessing. The Ironbreaker armor will protect them from heat much more significantly. But the way we're equipped and armored right now, not so good. Dash, our Mournfang female, is down and out. We do break loose in the south, and we have some capacity. I'm trying to get the doors open at this point. We need some air. It's 220 degrees Fahrenheit. We have people laying and bleeding everywhere, and the battle's still absolutely raging. And like the magic just takes too long to try and dick with at this point, and they're moving so fast it's hard to get a hold of them with the magic. So you can see it's raining outside due to all the fires inside, but that rain isn't going to do us much good. We never even got all of our chairs built. There's still well over 40 Skaven up in the northern eastern part of the hold, battling against the Ogre and company. The Ogre is down at this point, and we have people that I'm trying to make them move around to go assist. We can strike those guys from the rear, but we're also penned in and have no way to get through at this point. So we are in to fight our way through these Skaven, and we have Burning Gaze, we have Abula's Snare. If we could get over there with the Snare, we would drop a handful of them instantly. Wouldn't kill them, but would take them out of the fight. Temperatures inside are 370 something degrees now in the main hallways. Blackstone gets up, but it's probably a bad thing that he did because he immediately gets swarmed by Skaven. And in the northeast, we have Tasca die. She was chest ride. It's very sad that his new lover is dead. Flames Rage. It is 450 degrees. That's 236-ish Celsius. The battle carries on. I don't even know if any of the Skaven tunnels are destroyed here yet. We certainly haven't had the time to do it, but they may have, because they may do it on instinct, or maybe the fire would burn a tunnel out. I'm not really sure of that. Snake continues to spread fire. Chest Ride the Ogre dies. The dwarves of the Karex Dowie show up at that point, landing everywhere around. This is really good because they're going to come inside the hold, and I can use them. Yeah, we are destroying tunnels at this point, but we can use the new people entering the hold to hold open the doors and hopefully get some air inside that's not 500 degrees. You can see everybody's getting burned. So the new dwarfs come rushing in. I did forget to hold open the door over there in the northeastern corner, which would have been very bloody useful. It's at that point I'm like, oh geez, we really got to hold open all these doors, but I think it's a little bit too late. It's over 600 degrees in the hold, over 1500 degrees in our growing room where we're growing mushrooms. Gotrik's still on his feet. They're attacking him from behind. He's trying to get over and rescue some people. And Snake continues to blast flame into the hold. So, yeah, unless you have some super proper flame protection, Caxi is dead, Torrig is dead, Chestride is dead, Tasca is dead. But new dwarfs are flooding in, and doors are getting held open, and and Despy is standing outside. I used him to open some doors. Cadorson dies. Blaststone dies. Logi and Cathara seem to be fleeing. Our allies are on fire. Snake is just standing there burning. Rockbreak, dead. Yeah, and it's at this point that pretty much everybody is down and dead. We have Despy and Snake still on their feet. Hyena is no more. Snake's gone down. Magma Brewer, one of our allies, is burning. Gotrik is down and out, but the helmet might allow him to pull through. If only I had a ring of tending, that would have certainly kept somebody alive. Despy, last man standing because he had ran outside. I think what I should have done in retrospect here is immediately ran everybody outside. That would have been the wisest thing to do. Just open the doors and run outside, and even if it was like in a few different locations, let them destroy whatever the hell they're going to destroy. Small beans to lose, furniture and stuff like that. Now our allies are fleeing due to fire. I think Despy at some point wanders back in, but there's not a lot we can do. Kaza's dead. Sharpie's gone. Manhunter, Cuthram, Kaza, Stone Shield, Gidrig, Jagged Rock, dead. So, needless to say, Mickey dead. This is a major loss. I think I was pretty ambitious about trying to get million gold. I don't think it's possible. I do. After this, you'll see if you follow this mod on Steam. Hey, a Slayer Savior shows up at that point. Guard, he's going to come save the day. Super Immune Tough Nudist, Iron-Willed Brawler. Alright, he's got an axe. Regardless, I've made an Infestation Thumper. It's Steam-powered. It is live on Steam. Once I get done with the Beastman game, I will be attempting this one again. There's the demise of Gotrik, our hero, our founder. So yeah, I'll be taking another attempt with the Infestation Thumper to control this. This is pretty shit. It's kind of my fault. The flame guns were too much. They're a real liability. I don't know. Leave me some comments. You want me to start over? I'm going to start over regardless, but I don't know. Give me some motivation. These episodes take about 5 hours each to put out. It's a lot of work. I was really attached to these guys. I'm going to start with a similar start. I want to do this, but we'll maybe shoot for 100,000 gold instead, or just as much as we can get before we get wiped out. Clearly, the infestations, which we can now solve, were the problem. Leave me a like, comment. I love you guys, and I'm bowing my head in defeat.